The most important skill in life, and I would also say the most underrated skill in life, is the ability to be likable. That's it, plain and simple. Not gonna drag it on for 10 minutes for retention, that's what it is. Because you gotta think about this. Everything in the world is people, no matter what it is that you wanna do. Whether you're doing retail, whether you wanna be an investment banker, whether you wanna be a firefighter, whether you wanna be a nurse, whether you wanna be a lawyer, an entrepreneur, whatever it is you wanna be. Everything is just dealing with people. The world is people. Companies are people. Industries are people. Everything is just people. So if you know how to be likable, if you know how to be relatable, if you know how to understand people, that puts you miles ahead of so many people. For example, if you are applying for a job, right, and the guy that you're competing against is overqualified. He checks all the boxes, but he's not really that likable. He's not really that relatable. He doesn't really work well with others. He's kind of a robot, doesn't really say much, but he's overqualified. And then there's you. Let's say you're a little bit less qualified, but you're charismatic, you know how to hold a conversation, you can hold eye contact, you can establish rapport, you work well with others, and you know how to be a likable person. 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to get the job over him, despite being a little bit less qualified. Actually, I'll tell you this, I used to work at Hawaiian Barbecue, and something that I really took pride in, despite just being a cashier and all I did was box food and take orders, something that I took pride in was whenever I was on shift, I always got the most tips. And the reason for this is because every time a customer walked in, I would say the exact same thing. If it was an old man, I'd be like, hey sir, how's it going? How's your day going? How can I help you? And if it was an old lady that walked in, I'd be like, hey ma'am, how are you? How's your day going? How can I help you? What would you like? And then they'd be like, hey, can I get a Hawaiian barbecue mix? And I'd be like, that's a great choice. That's the one I go with all the time. Like, just establish rapport in that way and just like conversate and be likable. And I just tried to smile and ask questions and, try to be engaging. And just kind of having this attitude and this approach got me the most tips. But what you got to keep in mind is the key to this is authenticity, because people can sense when you're being fake. People can sense when you're putting on a front. Like, for example, the creators that you watch or the creators that you're subscribed to or the creators that you follow, there's probably an element of likability and relatability to that person that you see in yourself. And you can tell that they're genuine and real, and that's what makes you want to support them. If you try to pretend, if you BS, people can see right through it. When someone's grifting or putting on a front or kind of just doing it for the money, you can see through this, and no one really wants to support that. The key to likability is relatability, and the key to relatability is understanding. Like, just making people feel understood in a genuine way. Like, a major reason why therapists do so well and they're willing to get people to pay $150 an hour for their service is because they make people feel understood and heard and listened to in a way that makes them feel really comfortable. And then they want to keep going back to that person like they're a friend. It's how you're able to relate to people. Like, I've always said this, but the greatest ability that any of us have is the ability to make someone else feel something. To make someone else feel a positive emotion, that's the greatest power that any of us have. And when someone's able to make you feel positive emotions, you like that person. You want to be around that person. And that ability to be likable can translate to any avenue of life. Like, there's so much power in being able to make someone else feel something and being able to elicit emotions. Every single memory you have is because of the way it made you feel. That's why you remember it. You don't remember things that didn't make you feel anything. Same thing with music. Every single song on your playlist right now is because it made you feel something. And the same goes for the people we surround ourselves with. Actually, here's a secret or tip you can use to be likable. And this can apply in any interaction you have with anybody. All you have to do is get people to talk about themselves. Because everybody, for the most part, likes themselves. Everyone likes themselves. When you can get people to talk about themselves, you can make them feel listened to, and you can make them feel understood and related to in that way. And again, when you make them feel understood and related to, that's when they like you. And it's funny because the key to this is just asking questions. For example, let's say you're at work, right, and someone new just came in. And you go up to them and spark up a conversation like, hey, my name's Derek, nice to meet you. What's your name? Oh, your name's Steven, nice to meet you. I hear you like basketball. You got a favorite team? Oh, you like the Warriors? I like the Warriors as well. Who's your favorite player? Oh, you like Steph? Yeah, I knew you would like Steph. Like, just ask questions and establish rapport and be engaging. And this applies whether you're at work or on a date, it doesn't matter. People love to talk about themselves. You just have to make them comfortable enough to open up to you about themselves. And again, the key to all this is also being authentic, right? Don't be like, oh, you like basketball? I like basketball as well, and you hate basketball. Oh, you like League of Legends? I love playing League of Legends, and you never played League of Legends a day in your life. People can sense when you're being disingenuous. And also, last thing is to have awareness. Awareness is such a big part in interaction and being likable because it has a lot to do with understanding the person that's in front of you. And this does involve a lot of presumptions, but at the same time, this is why you need to interact with a lot of people and like talk to people. That way you have a good idea of people in general and you're able to apply that awareness in any situation. For example, if I'm on a date with a girl that's like more spiritual or liberal, I'm not going to go and talk about how Kamala has absolutely no policies, or how there's a liberal agenda trying to brainwash the youth using social media, or how nothing about astrology makes any sense. Like, I'm not going to say that. But again, you don't have to be disingenuous or fake either. You just don't engage. And when it comes up, you know how to like navigate around it without being disingenuous. So a lot of being likable is also having a lot of awareness as well. And it helps the more people you interact with. And I've said this before, but like, even if you're in an elevator stuck with someone, just be like, hey, how's your day going? Or if like a lady is bagging your groceries, be like, hey, how's your day going? How's your shift going? It's going good? That's amazing. It's going bad? Well, your night's almost over. And don't think that there's no point in those interactions just because you have nothing to gain from it or you're never going to see them again. You're sharpening your blades. You're understanding how to interact with different people, and you're sharpening your blades of likability. And it's definitely going to help you in any avenue of life that you put yourself in. Anyways, I think that was a pretty good yap session. Thank you for listening. Hope you're doing well. With that said, make sure you guys stay true. I'll talk to you real soon. Peace.